two, one. Ba-bam. Where you supposed to do it now? Let's go.
What?
Yeah,
Cut out
I
for a
was
second.
doing your countdown, man. That was the surprise. You ruined
Oh,
the
I got you. I got you.
surprise. No, I'm gonna leave it like that because it's more funny when it's awkward. That's like humor these days.
What's up, guys?
No, you don't need to do that. No, now that you did it, I'm gonna edit it in.
We fall down and don't get up. I don't believe in purpose. Something good happened today. I know I don't deserve it.
What's your name?
My name is Clayton.
Clayton.
Clayton Roney. Yes, I'm
Clayton Brown.
from the United States, from a small state in the southeast called Georgia. Not that small. There's a lot of people here.
And how did you actually get your like artist name? Because like Lil Xtra is like quite specific. The word extra is like what is
So
extra?
dumb. It's so dumb. I know. Honestly, when I first started, I didn't know what kind of music I was actually gonna make, and the thought process was like my personality is pretty extra, and the thought process was if I call myself that, I can make pretty much any kind of music that I want to, and no one's gonna be like, oh, well, that doesn't fit with your name. And then I ended up making really sad boy shit that doesn't fit with the name at all. So it, of course, still backfired on me.
Well,
But
I from what I know, you initially were in some rock bands back in the day. Is that correct?
yeah,
And
yeah, I was in a
how
few
was that?
bands a long time ago. Played a lot of shows and stuff.
How did you manage to blend the rock part with the rapping and like the soft singing stuff that you are doing?
Basically, since I always listened to more of the rock music growing up and stuff. So it's kind of what I always wrote when I played guitar, different things like that. So I kind of learned how to write music in that rock style. And then when I switched over, so I started listening to rap a lot more when I was about 16, like 6, 7 years ago. Started kind of getting more into that and trying to do some stuff with that. And when my last band broke up, I decided, well, like I'm not gonna let other people ruin my music for me anymore. So I'm gonna figure out something that I can do by myself. So that was kind of the goal with it, was to find a way to blend my writing style that I already did with
Mm.
rapping, which was something I could do by myself. So it just took years, just practice and practice, and then eventually I kind of found something. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is different. It kind of works for me.
Mm.
Somewhat unique, feels like, at least to me. So
Yeah.
I just kind of got there slowly over time. It took a long time to figure that out.
For how long have you been making music actually?
Um, well, I've been in bands at least and stuff like that for the last 6 years. But I've played instruments and written since I was like 6 or 7, basically always. My
Sixes.
mom started me off real young.
Mm,
She
was your
plays piano. She wanted me to
she
do something.
plays piano? Mm.
She's great at it.
Did she was she like doing something more professional as well?
No, she's always just done it as a hobby. She just really enjoys it, and it's something she wanted to like pass on to me. I'm an only child, so kind of got all the,
Mm.
if my parents had any interest in anything, they kind of threw it down to me.
Mm. Do you still like keep in touch with your parents and stuff? Do they know about your music, stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And do they like it?
Yeah. No, not really. No. They really liked the music that I made when I was in rock bands, but they're not big fans of rap, and they don't like how depressing a lot of it is, different things like that. It's one of those things, like I think they both appreciate that it's good music. They both like understand why people listen to it, but it's not their thing. They're
Mm.
like
And it's mainly
80s
because of the
rock.
rap thing.
Yeah, mainly. Yeah, anytime I make a song that's less rap and more anything else, they'll enjoy it more. But
Mm.
you know, I
Do,
enjoy the rapping more,
do you
honestly.
always send them the stuff though, when that you make?
I don't send it to them, but if I put something out, I know my mom at least eventually listens to it. I don't know if my dad's heard any of the stuff that I've made the last few years, but I know my mom listens to it at least once to see what it sounds like.
Mm.
I recorded one of my old songs for her and sent it to her a few weeks ago. That I haven't even put it out. I don't even know if I'm going to, because I don't really like how it turned out. But she was really happy about that.
Mm.
She really loves that song.
Do you usually have like people you send your songs uh, to like have a listen and be like, hey, that's good, hey, that's not so good?
It kind of depends. I'll get feedback on it, but I don't really change stuff too much.
Mm,
If the feedback's not great, it's more like if nobody likes it, I won't put it out. More of a thing. But you are one of the mains when I'll send you stuff early.
mm,
There's a YouTuber that's pretty big. He fucks with me really heavy. His name's Grizzly. He's a really cool guy. I send him stuff early.
mm.
Kyle that does the Dark Rose podcast. Shout out Kyle. Send him stuff, and Jack Rottier that does the videos. So I love that guy. That's about it, honestly.
Yeah, when you mentioned Jack, by the way, shout out to Jack. He's the one that filmed the Hope I Know I Mean It, and he also filmed the Don't Get Up video, which is out right now on Jack's channel. He's
Yeah,
also filmed like whatever it takes, and yeah, he's going to film a bunch more videos that are going to be on this channel and other channels hopefully in the near
he's gonna
future.
blow up this next year.
Yeah, so I'm gonna link Lil Xtra's new video in the description so you can check it out. And yeah, so
Shout
let's
out Jack. Go follow Honest.
yeah follow Honest, like that's his brand name. It's Honest. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm not. It
Yeah,
is his. Okay.
yep. Honest entertainment, honest video. I don't remember what he. I think we had a conversation about that. He's not sure what else to call it for that, but yeah, honest.
I understand that you were like close to quitting music at some point before, like there were more eyes looking at you and like paying attention to what you're doing. Like what was
Yeah.
going through your head at that point?
So, after my last band broke up, I started doing stuff myself, and I don't know why I decided to do this, but when I first started doing my own stuff, instead of like making singles and putting them out, I made a whole album,
Mm,
like 10 songs, and it took like 3 or 4 months because I mix all my own stuff and everything. And then I put it out, and it wasn't very good. It didn't do much. It was when I was still trying to figure out what my actual style was. I put it out, and like a couple people liked it here and there, but I didn't actually have any followers or anything. Nobody was enjoying it very much. And I made like 2.5 tapes worth of shit like over the first year,
damn.
and nobody was really listening to any of it because it just wasn't very good. Um, and right before I wrote "I Hope You Know I Mean It," I basically was just like, man, this is pointless. Like, I don't, I'm not very good at this. People don't want to listen to it. I don't care about this anymore. So I actually deleted all my music for about 2.5 weeks or something. So I didn't do anything for a while because I was quitting.
Mm,
And then eventually I just realized like I don't have anything else. Like even if I'm not that good at this, like I don't have anything else that I am good at. So I put it back up and just decided to keep working on it. And that was kind of when I realized like I needed to change the way I was doing it, what I was doing, because at the time I was trying to be more like I guess mainstream of a rap because I didn't know how much of my style to actually blend into the rapping
mm,
as far as like talking about stuff that's more personal and so a little bit like I was talking about like money and car like stupid bullshit that I don't even want at the time and everybody knew it was weird and I made I Hope You Know I Mean It, and as soon as I started being a little bit more honest with what I was talking about, people started listening. And
mm.
then sent it to you, and then you put it up, and then that's when people actually started like paying attention to me, started following stuff.
Yeah, so it is true. Like I hope you know I mean it kind of blew up. It's like
Yeah, well, especially at the time because I had like I don't know, I had like 1,500 followers or something, but that was my biggest song at the time we put it out, and it had like 30,000 plays. I didn't have anything even close to that,
mm,
and I don't know if I have any songs that don't have that much now. It's been a year.
it's
So I owe you a lot on that, man. That's all thanks to you putting that up and people finding it out through Sad Show.
I mean, I also want to add to that. Like I believe it was Idleglance that it's a YouTube channel uploading music as well. You know him, yeah?
Yeah. Idleglance is great.
Yeah, so I believe that he was the one that actually, like, I found you on there first, and then I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I think that's how it went. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little, I'm not sure, but I just want to give a little shout out to Idleglance just in case.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that. Sweet. Thanks, Idleglance.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
he's a,
He's a really good guy too.
yeah, he has a pretty good channel.
He
So
does.
I'll put that in the description as well. Uh, yeah, what was like the thought process behind that song. Like you said you were like being more honest with stuff. Like, how did you sit down and write that song? Because it has a lot of stuff going on lyrically.
Yeah. So basically, it's funny because of course everybody always comments like, oh, you stole a Pete beat and all that shit. I didn't know what it was when I found it because I didn't make that beat. I heard it on SoundCloud. This dude had like five followers. It's just one of those things where I was listening stuff on SoundCloud.
Uh,
On SoundCloud things just pop up that are totally random. That it's like,
yeah.
why is this playing? Well, it started playing, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's beautiful. It's just the beat. It didn't have any vocals on it. And I tried to message this kid, and I was like, yo, like, what is this beat? Like, can I use this? Different things like that, whatever. And he came back and he told me I could use it. I was like, okay. And then I tried to, tell him like, hey, I can pay you for it, all this stuff, whatever. And he never answered me again. But I downloaded it and I went back like a few because I kept trying to pay him for it. And eventually he ended up deleting his channel or his SoundCloud thing. So I never could find him. So I don't even really know where it came from. It's really weird how I found it. So I made the song. Like I said, I had been doing weirder stuff before that, and I just decided with that song, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna actually make an honest song, like a really super honest song, and see how it does. So I just made that song. Starts off. I'm just talking about like, I mean, literally.
Oh shit, the connection broke.
I mean, long story short, I just kind of decided because that was right after I had quit the music for a little bit and kind of came back. And I just wanted to talk about why it was important to me and why it was something that I actually did and enjoyed. And then, talked about the girl that I met at one of the older rock shows that I did and everything, and people seemed to resonate with that a lot. Things. But I almost didn't drop it when I made it because I just thought it was kind of like cheesy. Like I heard it the first time, I was like, this is terrible. Like nobody's gonna listen to this. I don't want to put this out. But
Really?
again, I had just kind of decided like at that point, I was like, what am I waiting for at this point? I'm just gonna put it out, see if anybody actually likes it because it's a lot more me. It's a lot more honest to what I am, what I do. I put it out and people enjoyed it. Even because I think it was out like 4 months or something before you heard it. It wasn't like blowing up, but I think before that I think my biggest song had like 5,000 plays or something, and it passed that pretty quickly. So I realized, okay, like if I'm actually like real about what I'm talking about, put a little more effort into my lyrics with this and different things, I can actually get people, people are interested.
Right now, you do play the guitar for your like own beats quite often, don't you?
Yeah, everything on my last album I've custom made, and then I go to my producer's house that I know in real life. He lives about 20 minutes away. Shout out Kado. And we put together the drums and everything for it, put it all together, and then I'll record it and I do all my own mixing, which is why it takes so long for me to put music out. Because I work every day on my music, at least 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but it just takes forever to fucking mix everything.
Yeah, and it's the
Picky,
most.
and I suck at it.
Yeah, it's the most important part, isn't it? To be honest.
It is. It honestly is.
No.
After the actual we wrote a good song, yeah.
Oh, it kind of lagged over there. Okay, we're good. It kind of lagged, but
Yeah, we lost it for a second, but it's good
yeah, this time at least.
for now.
So, are you actually like getting closer to the point where like music can like sustain you and stuff like that? Are you able to monetize it better with Spotify, stuff like that?
Yeah, I actually just checked. I kind of went through everything, for taxes a few weeks ago, and I checked everything that I made in 2018, and I actually ended up making a little bit more than I put into it. So I'm breaking even, making a small profit now. Not enough to like carry myself because I put a lot into the music too, obviously. But I have another job that I do overnight, part time. It's not anything crazy, but it helps me out with the money, and I make almost as much off the music now as I do off of that. Hopefully, going forward over the next year, I'm really hoping at the end of this next year I'll be making enough that I can quit and actually do music as a sustainable income.
Yeah, I know I'm cutting out. You don't need to tell me. Was that your guitar that you just showed?
Yeah.
Why did you bring it up? Were you going to play some music while I'm up there? Yeah.
I was afraid you're gonna be gone for like 10 minutes. I didn't
Oh,
know what was going on. I
oh.
got scared.
Since you have your guitar, I wanted to be like, can you do like a little tour of your setup? I'm sure people would enjoy that, especially like people that want to make music.
Yeah. So this is my acoustic. I just got a Fender GC 130. It's little. It's easy to hold on to and play. I'm a big fan of that. I actually usually use a different guitar if I actually record with it. So you can't see my laptop right now because that's what I'm recording on. But I got a MacBook Pro, which is the probably the most expensive part of my setup. Honestly, that's how we record. We got over here we got an orange CR120 head on an acoustic cabinet. That's what I record all my guitar on. Trusty little 57 there, all that shit. This is my like studio space.
Mm,
My speakers, my sub, whatnot. Here's my microphone. I usually record this in the closet because it actually has a lot better acoustic properties in there. But I was recording some lo-fi kind of stuff, so I put it in this room to get some
mm,
nice ambience for it. But yeah, that's really all it is. That's all I really need. I do everything myself up here. So if I don't do it on my amp or my microphone, I do it, my
mm,
beats. And I also go to, like I said, my buddy's studio. We do a good bit of the actual beat making over there because he's a lot better at the drum sequencing and stuff than I am. It turns
mm.
out better if we do that.
Yeah,
He
is
also
that?
he also has
Mm?
cracked like every plugin on the planet, and I'm too scared to do that. I'm too scared I'm gonna kill my computer or something. But he's crazy, dude. This man knows how to like. I'll come in sometimes. He'll just be wearing like shoes that are like $3,000 shoes. And I'm just like, where'd you get those? And he's like, oh, they're Chinese knockoffs. Like got them through the like Yufu or something.
Yeah, it was that Kado you were speaking of?
Yeah, it's Kado on the track.
Oh,
Super
nice.
talented producer.
Is there any way, like, because I haven't like seen his pages, but does he have like SoundCloud stuff like that?
Yes, he has SoundCloud, Twitter. I can send you his links if you'd like
Yes.
me to. He's got SoundCloud, Twitter. I think he has a YouTube. He makes most of his stuff off of YouTube, I think.
Okay. Like I've heard the name, but I haven't followed him anywhere, and I'll link him as well because like shout out Kato. He's the one
Yeah,
with.
for sure. No, I can't express enough how much he helps me, man. My whole Make It Through Fall album, he did all the extra production on that album.
Mm,
Anything that's not guitar, he helps me produce on
mm. And by the way, what's the microphone you're using? What's type it? Like what's the model?
that. Right now I have a Warm Audio U87.
Mm,
Nobody's heard anything that I recorded with it yet. That's a new mic that I've been doing. Everything that I made before now, I made on a Rode NT1 condenser. It's not
oh
a
sure.
bad microphone. It's not a bad microphone. It's just there's a lot of top end and it doesn't have a whole lot of meat behind it. I like this Warm Audio a good bit better. The next couple songs from now on, when I start dropping new stuff, you'll hear the new microphone. I think it sounds a
Mm.
little bit better.
You probably recognize my mic then, because this one is a Rode NT, but I'm not sure what model is like. It's a good one. I
Yeah,
like it.
Rode makes good stuff. They make good like entry level stuff that's not crazy expensive, but it still has a good quality to it.
Mm. And also, may I just address the fact that I dressed formally for this interview? Like I'm bringing the game like next level type
I
shit.
appreciate it, man. I like your watch. Nice.
Oh,
I clearly didn't dress formally, but I do have a tank top on under this, so I did at least try to like cover up a little.
yeah, because I'm bringing those podcasts back, man. It's been
Oh,
I literally checked the first one that I did with 222, and it's like from 1 year ago, almost 1 year ago. And I still had that same watch actually. I noticed that as well.
that's
But yeah,
awesome.
and I also sounded like very awkward. I hope I don't sound awkward now because I think I've become more confident since then.
No,
I'm not
you
sure.
sound fine.
Okay, good.
I'll sound awkward because I always do, but you sound fine.
Oh no, I haven't noticed anything. Maybe post-production. I'm too. I'll be like, damn, that That motherfucker is awkward. Nah, I'm joking. You're not. You're good. You're good. Sorrowbringer. What's that name?
Sorrowbringer, dude, he's a Ukrainian producer that has made several different beats for me. He has worked with 222 yesterday,
Mm,
Breathing Backwards. He's worked with a lot of dudes. He's a really cool guy. He's a super talented producer too. He custom does all of his stuff. He just recently got an electric guitar, so he's branching out a little bit. We did Get Lost in the Tall Grass, All My Fault, I Will Look the Other Way. We did the one Chester Bennington Was Murder that I did with 222. We also did Fit for This Life that yesterday, and I
mm.
think me and Breathing Backwards, I believe he made the one that I was featuring on for him as well. That's not out yet.
What about Sad Eyes? You've now made 2 songs with him.
Yeah, no, I really like Nathan. He's a really good guy. We made Not Alone, which went on his channel, did really well, and then we made Falls Apart, which has done pretty well for me. I don't know. I think our voices just go together really well,
I
honestly.
I would agree on that one.
Like stylistically, we're different, but it's similar enough that it works together pretty well. That's one thing I'll say. I'm not a. I'll do collabs with people and stuff. I like collaborating with people sometimes, but I'm not
Mm,
always huge on it because I feel like a lot of times people just don't fit on songs together very much. I really enjoy working with him because I do feel like everything we make actually like fits. It's always fun.
yeah, I guess like doing a song by yourself, it also helps you like keep it more honest in a way. Like,
Yeah, a little bit. I almost it sounds weird, but I almost think of it as like if you're playing like an RPG game, like your main story and like your side quests.
oh yeah, kind of like that.
Collabs are like side quests. Like sometimes they're better than the main story, but it's not like the main focus either. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's actually I really like that way of describing it. Do
Yeah,
you
that's
like
kind of how it always feels to me.
next time you should hit it like someone like should hit it and like an artist be like, do you want to do a side quest together?
What does that mean?
Yeah, people, it probably gets you blocked at that type of shit. I'm not sure.
Honestly,
Uh,
I've definitely approached people about like, hey, you want to collab on something, or I probably like approached them the wrong way. And they didn't. It happens, especially the smaller you are, when you're like, yeah, you have no reason to work with me at all, but I'm still gonna message you like, hey, you want to like work with me? And like, no, it happens.
yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask you as well, like, what are your main like influences on your sound, especially like while growing up? What were you listening to? I suppose a lot
Um,
of rock stuff.
yeah, honestly, mostly rock stuff. I was listening to a lot of Blink-182, Green Day, more like faster stuff like that. I was very into like punk style stuff, or like kind of pop punk, pseudo punk, whatever, when I was a little bit younger. Then as I kind of hit teenage years, got into heavier stuff a little bit more. So a lot of like System of a Down, Slipknot, kind of metal, different stuff. And I always enjoyed anything that was catchy, that was just a good song. So like Third Eye Blind, a lot of '90s alternative, Nirvana, Hole, different stuff like that.
Mm,
And I didn't really start listening to rap until I was like 16. But when I started listening to rap, started listening to obviously like Eminem, Lil Wayne, a lot of mainstream stuff at first, and then I started digging in a little bit deeper, getting into more like Bone Thugs and like just older stuff like Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that. I really like Tupac.
mm,
Just different stuff like that. Uh, a lot of my stuff is different depending on whether I'm kind of drawing more from my rock influences or more from my rap influences.
mm,
I would also say influentially, as far as my vibe goes, the front bottoms are probably my biggest inspiration. I love
mm.
the front bottom.
Interesting.
Really weird.
Interesting.
He does a good job. Like they were kind of the band I realized you can write a song that's about multiple things, but as long as it kind of sounds like it's all in the same ballpark, it can
Yeah.
fit. Like I used to think you had to write to a certain like kind of linear,
Yeah.
like where you start with whatever you're trying to say and then you get there at the end. And I kind of realized listening to them that you can write in a way that's more like thematic. So
Yeah,
like not every
exactly.
line has to do with the next, but as long as it all kind of wraps up into the same expression by the end, it can still fit really well. I don't know how to explain that exactly without listening to their music. It's
No,
kind of hard to explain. It's abstract. I always
I,
enjoyed that.
I think you did a quite a good job of explaining it, and I can definitely see that in your music. It's like you have a lot of stuff going on lyrically, and you can like go it can go in like in so different like paths during one song, but it all sticks together like thematically and like emotionally. I don't know, conceptually, I guess.
Yeah,
That's the word.
yeah, I appreciate that. I always
Mm,
kind of thought it was more interesting if you make music that's honest, that has a certain meaning to you, but other people can take it any way they want to. Like I don't
mm,
like people will message me sometimes, be like, "Hey, like what's this song about?" And like I really try not to get into that too much because I don't really want everyone to know exactly what everything's about because it's more interesting to me if you take it the way that you want to take it. Like just as one example, I had a kid one time message me something. They're like, "Hey, like my favorite song is Make It Through Fall because I like how it has it's a lot more positive because like the hook on that song is like quit talking about my old life left in my dreams, now everything is perfect, I'm where I want to be." And like this will be the exception to me not explaining stuff, but like that song is completely sarcastic. I
yeah,
do that a lot where I'll say something and it's like I mean the exact opposite, or it's kind of dripping in sarcasm like that, where I say like, "Oh yeah, now everything's perfect," and all this shit. But it was really interesting to me that this kid was like, "Hey man, I really like this song because it's a more positive outlook on it and all this stuff," even though that's like the exact opposite of what the song actually is. I thought that was kind of cool that he took it the wrong way and it still made it mean more to him, if that makes sense. So I try not to really tell people what everything means.
mm, yeah. I guess that was a good example of that. And
Yeah,
also,
it's just interesting that everyone's brain works differently, so they take everything differently than you might mean it, unless you spell it out so clearly that there's no other thing it can mean. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know why I don't know why, but people like do enjoy being told what something means and like being told like they like it easy. I guess that's why like music has become simplified in a way with all the
Yeah,
SoundCloud shit. It has become like very easy to consume. You don't really have to think about it. It just goes in and out, and it's kind of like fun. Even if we're going into the emo scene where it's like supposed to be more deep or whatever, it's mostly it tends not to be even.
yeah.
If so, do you wanna reiterate the point that you were making, or
Um,
it's fine?
yeah. Basically, all I was saying was that as far as kind of losing the magic of that when once something's been clarified to you to a certain extent, I feel like that's just kind of knowing like how the behind the scenes of anything works. I know when you start making music, like before you make music, it's all just it's incredible, especially crazy effects and stuff like that.
Mm,
You start mixing music and you start understanding what they're actually doing more, and it makes everything less enjoyable. Like I enjoy music way just listening to music, I enjoy way less than I did before I started making it.
mm,
It's very frustrating. But
yeah.
everyone I know that makes like works on music a lot feels that way, you know?
By the way, speaking on like influences of like as a growing up, are there like any contemporary rock bands or like what contemporary like rappers are you into right now? I'm
I listen to
curious.
as far as rock and stuff goes, I still listen mostly to what I always kind of have. For more contemporary ones, I love A Day to Remember. Movements is probably the best newer band to come out in the last few years. They're awesome. Nightmares. Microwave is
Mm,
also one of my top bands ever. And they're actually newer. I just forgot to mention them earlier. Microwave's incredible.
mm,
Um, as far as rappers, um, more contemporary, I listen to a lot of Convol. A lot of Convol. Um, Nothing Nowhere. Vince Staples really cool. I really like Little Skies.
mm,
Um,
interesting. I,
yeah,
I didn't expect those guys.
yeah, no, just him specifically. I don't know, something about his music works really well for me. He's a pretty cool dude. It just kind of depends, honestly. I don't know. It's
Mm,
like there's not a whole lot of newer music coming out that I listen to a lot of each artist,
mm-hmm.
but I'll listen to like a few songs from a lot of different people.
Mm.
I don't find as many artists that I really like their sound and like get super deep into them as I used to, but I'll hear a few songs. Microwave is the exception to that. I love Microwave. Fucking awesome. 10 minutes down the road, but I never knew any of them or anything when they were local. They tour, sell out tours and stuff now, but they're from here. That's how I heard about them originally. They're awesome
Oh, they're from where?
and brand new, of course. They are from Lawrenceville, Georgia. So if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, it's right in the heart of the state.
Mm.
You go about 45 minutes this way, and you get to us in Gwinnett County.
Mm. And you're born and raised in Atlanta, is that so?
I was born in Lawrenceville, and I've only ever moved once.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it growing up then there?
Kind of weird for me specifically. I was homeschooled, so I had kind of a weird. It was different.
Mm.
It's okay. It was cool in summers and stuff. It's very hot. Winter's not too cold. It's kind of weird. We don't get very much snow or anything.
Mm.
The people are different. It's very. I've been to like Michigan. I've been up north in America, certain different areas, and where I live in the South is weird because like I live in Georgia. I live in Metro Atlanta, so it's more like Atlanta,
Mm.
which is very very demographically diverse and everybody's pretty cool with each other and everything. It's not too like not like a whole lot of like hillbillies and stuff like that. I mean, there's some everybody mingles kind of, but the further out you get from Atlanta, the more like rural, like kind of redneck. It's not in like a bad way, but it's just the people are very different. So even where I live, it's not really much like the rest of the state. So it's kind of hard to say even.
No, I can understand that. And you mentioned also that you were like homeschooled. Did that like I'm not sure what it's like because I haven't been
It's
homeschooled,
weird. It's
but
real weird.
yeah, like what is that like? Does it mean that you have like less of a social life growing up because you're homeschooled?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I always played sports and stuff growing up, and I had friends like in the neighborhood. It wasn't like I didn't know any kids or anything, but I had a lot of trouble like talking to girls when I first started kind of dating and stuff like that because I didn't really meet any girls until I was like 15.
mm,
Weird. It was cool when I was young because like I didn't have to do as much. I didn't have to go to school for 8 hours a day. That was always nice.
mm,
Once I got to like middle school, high school age, I wasn't a big fan of it because, like I said, I'm an only child. So it was just me a lot of the times. My grandparents were pretty sickly, and my mom had to help them out a lot. So there's a lot of times in like middle school and on until I got a car where I'd just be home alone, like all the time, basically, until later on in the day, whatever. I really didn't like it in high school because I got picked on a lot in high school. Anytime I did meet people, like
yeah.
it's not a good place to be in when you're in high school, at least. So I had a lot of issues with other people, and I had a lot of issues with my parents during that time. We didn't talk very much for a while. Then once I graduated, it really didn't matter anymore. Honestly, like once you're out of high school, people don't give a shit too much where you went to high school anymore. But yeah, until then it was irritating. I didn't like it, and I tried to go to school afterward. It was just, now I'm kind of glad just because didn't I didn't have to go do that all the time for 12 years, but at the time it's frustrating.
So I guess it made you like a bit of a rebel because they were like people were like kind of bullying you or something, and you were like trying to like evade it or something. Is that what you're talking about?
It made me, I wouldn't say a rebel, it made me more of a loner. It just made me not really like people very much. It made me care a lot less about other people's opinions as I got older, because eventually you're just like, man, like fuck off. I don't care if you don't like me. Like,
Yeah.
when you're 14 and you're trying to figure out how to talk to people, you care about shit like that. By the time you're 18, 19, and people are or like even 17 or whatever, and people are making fun of you for shit like that, it's just like, dude, I don't care what you think.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you mentioned like you were playing like sports. What sports were you playing growing up?
I played baseball and hockey.
Baseball and hockey, they're quite like different, aren't they?
Yes, they're very, very different. I was never very like I was never too good at hockey either because it's a lot harder, and I started later. I was never as great of like a skater or anything, so
Mm,
I was like middle of the pack to lower third of my team normally in hockey, but it was a lot of fun, and I was really good at baseball. I started that really young, and it was very natural.
mm,
That's what because I didn't start really making music until after I got hurt. Because before that, like I enjoyed playing; it was like a hobby. But that's what I really liked to do was more active stuff. And then once I got hurt and I couldn't really do anything I enjoyed anymore, fine. And I got way sadder than I had been really before that. And I started channeling it through music. That's kind of when I really started writing a lot. That was when I was 18.
mm.
Well, I didn't start actually doing anything until I was, a little bit older. Like I'm 23. I'm like the old man in this whole group of people.
Yeah, it's just like just a few years difference, but it's like it kind of seems like it's a big difference, isn't it?
Kinda. It does when you're the 23-year-old.
Well,
The old,
I personally wouldn't say so. I think that like if you look at people like I don't know, even like Smart Death, he's like 26, I believe, something. So
yeah.
yeah, so
He's also been doing this for a little longer though.
oh yeah, obviously. Well, and it shows, like if you do it for longer, you get more recognition because yeah, it's the most important bit. It's consistency, isn't it?
Right, consistency, and it does take time to build a following.
Yeah, but yeah, you like what happened? Like, how did you get like hurt and injured? Like, what was?
I don't really know, man. Honestly, I woke up one day and my shoulder just hurt like hell. Um, and it took about 3-4 months for them to find that I had a tear in it. Because like before all this, I didn't have any plans on really pursuing music or anything. I was gonna go join the military and get out and try to go join the fire department, something like that, something like active job. That's what I always wanted to do. Um, I just woke up, just messed up, when had surgery on it, and it didn't really heal up right. It didn't really heal at all for a long time. That's what the song "Fearless" is about. Um, so like a year after it first started hurting, my right arm started doing the same thing. Um, and then about 5 months ago in August, both of my knees went out too, and they're just the same thing. I don't know what happened or why they just started hurting all the time, like really badly. And I can't figure out what's wrong with them. And I've been to a couple doctors. They can't find anything. They don't know what my deal is. But I can barely walk right now or anything. So that is probably the main area where most of my lyrics and stuff come from too. Just because my life is not what I was hoping it would be a few years ago. It's not going the direction I wanted it to at all.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
It's frustrating,
it is, man.
very frustrating.
Are you okay with having this on YouTube and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
It's not
Uh,
it's not like a secret or anything. Nah,
mm.
good. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well. I can't do anything right now actually that I really enjoy. I can barely go for a walk for more than a minute or two.
Well, I do hope everything will turn out okay.
Yeah,
Like, I know it's like, it's kind of difficult to talk about it, especially like the way we're doing it now on camera, because it kind of feels like, it almost feels like unnatural to speak about it, I guess. And it's like, I don't know, like, I I do empathize, but with you a lot, but I just don't know what to say, you know.
oh no, I completely understand, man. It's a
Um,
it's a it's a weird situation.
yeah, but yeah, you can't allow yourself to like get used to the situation, because I think that's the worst thing is like to accept the fact that this is like how it's going to be for the rest of your life. I think that's I
Yeah,
think you need to avoid like look at this like as something temporary that you have to go through.
Yeah, no, I can't look at it that way and kill myself before I was gonna do something like that. That's not happening. We can't do this the rest of my life. That would. No,
Exactly.
no, no, no.
Exactly.
I'll figure something out, man. It's not gonna be forever. We'll be okay. Be good.
And yeah,
But in the meantime, that's why I make music because it helps me get all that out. So
exactly.
works.
And bro, if you ever need any help, like we'll start a fucking GoFundMe and anything like that. We have like a lot of people here that would
No,
help.
I appreciate that, man. But I'm not gonna ever ask people for money or anything like that. I don't. It's not anything like that. It's just a frustrating thing because it's been going on for so long. You know what I mean? It's been the last 6 years of my life is the main aspect of it. But other than that, it's not like I'm okay as far as like money and stuff for it. I'm not like I can't get treatment because I can't afford it. Like I'm okay. It just won't go away. But I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Well, it's a bit like ending it up on like let's end it up like on a bright side and like just I don't know. Let's just hope for the best, man. Like that's all we can do. I know you're not gonna give up. I trust you on that.
Nah, not anytime soon. We'll be good. I'll stick around a few more years at least. I'm 23. I gotta at least make it to 27, right? That's
Yeah.
the plan. Make it to 27, and gotta get famous before 27, so that if I do die at 27, someone actually cares. That's the plan. Make it.
Well, nah. I prefer you not to be famous and be fine, man.
I can't be. I'm not gonna say that. That's bad. Yeah, no. But we'll do it right. Hey, thank you again so much for having me on. I know I've probably been a little bit of a boring guest, but I really appreciate you and what you do, and what you've done for me.
Nah, I appreciate you back as well, man. Like this is the relationship is like symbiotic in a way. Like I'm nothing with the people. I'm nothing without the people I promote and like work with. So like I really appreciate you for being the genuine person that you are, and for putting all this effort into your craft and yeah, like just giving us all like all this music to enjoy. And like the music is always there for all of us. Like it's there for you to like help you through stuff, and it's like there for us all the time, 24/7, thanks to the internet and all that shit. So yeah,
It's
this
true.
is
Beautiful thing.
it is quite a beautiful thing. So like yeah, I guess this is the positive note that we're going
Yeah.
to end it up on.
Yeah. End on a positive note. Say real quick before we leave. I have one song that there's being a video made for it now. It'll be out. I'll drop that song as soon as I can get the video for it. But I will probably be dropping about 3 songs over the next month and a half. At least one or two of them I'll be sending to you, just to let everybody know that I have new music. It's coming.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that in the video, so it's like a bit of a teaser.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
If that's fine.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. By the way, I also wanted to say like sorry if it was a bit like too official with all like the questions and all that, because
Oh no, you're good.
okay, like I do plan to make the sessions a bit more chill and talk about like uh, uh, many topics and whatever, but it's just because like I'm gonna write an article about this as well, so it's like have to keep it a bit more formal. But
No,
yeah,
I completely appreciate that. That's
but yeah, subscribe to PewDiePie, and I'll see you soon.